spoken. Well, 122 people have spoken who watched episode 1. Thanks very much. And you have justified episode 2 of Tent Talks with me, Ryan Hunter, the Yorkshire Lad Outdoors. On YouTube, Instagram, give me a follow, go subscribe, all that shit. And thanks to anyone who listened to episode 1. Well, what I've been up to. I got the week off work, because I was feeling a bit overwhelmed. I was overthinking a lot of stuff. Life was getting a bit on top. So I booked a week off just to kind of defrag the old mind and try and get in a couple of overnighters in, which I've done and I'll tell you about. And just kind of, defrag my head. So it's been nice to have the week off. The weather's picked up a little bit. Dreadful it was on Tuesday, wasn't it? But it seems to be getting nicer. And got a little camping trip planned with the kids over Easter weekend, which is tomorrow. Today's Thursday, by the way. And we're going camping this weekend. So, what have I been up to since we last spoke? Went camping on Saturday night. Me and Jen went up to the lakes. Had a lovely overnighter up on Ranadale Knot. Perfect conditions it was. It was absolutely stunning. It was just really nice to get back up in the hills. Parked up at Crummock Water. And then we had a little walk up to Buttermere. Into the Buttermere Arms Hotel. Or the Buttermere Hotel. And had a couple of beers. Which was dangerous because I got the taste for it, didn't I? Been out on Friday, got a bit squiffy and felt a bit ropey on Saturday, but sat down for a beer in the Buttermere Hotel and it went down way too easy. Got some chips as well. Could have been settled there for the night, and I'll shout out to the 3 lads who were sat in there, quite happily minding their own business, having a beer and some food, talking about their overnight trip, and obviously I was eavesdropping. And one of the lads mentioned that he was in his Lanshan for the first night. And I've been after a Lanshan, so without any shame or dignity, I just shouted over, "Oi, mate, tell us about your Lanshan." So he was telling me where he'd got it from and how much he paid for it, and it was his first night. So I was excited to chat about it because I wanted one myself. And turns out they were camping up on Ranadale Knot as well. So shout out to those guys. They camped, they were about 100 metres away from us on kind of a little nub on the summit. But yeah, they all seemed to be fine. And his Lanshan was standing in the morning. So it stood up to any wind we did get in the night. So obviously that justified it. And I went and bought one on Sunday. So that's on its way. Looking forward to that. And then Monday, I was back out. I went back up to the lakes. Struggling a bit with my knee. The winds were forecast pretty high, so I decided to camp kind of low. But by the time I'd asked about overthinking where I was going to go and looking at different places, it was about 5:30, 5:45 when I got to Ennerdale. So I had a little walk on into the valley. I'd earmarked a couple of camping spots, and I messaged Matt from Adventure is Made, just to see if he knew of any lowdown pitches around there. And he actually came back and dropped a pin exactly where I was going to camp. So that was that. Nice little walk in. A couple of hours, actually. It's a bit of a trek. It was about 4.5 miles, probably, to where I camped. So by the time I got there, it was about 7:30. Wind was ripping through the valley. So I managed to get set up and then it calmed down a little bit. But beautiful spot right by the river. Just very nice and serene. I was loving it. And yeah, I just had a nice chilled night. I made a YouTube video. Go check it out. It's online now. It's only a short one because I was having a bit of a zen moment on my camp. And I didn't really want it to be all about filming and social media. So just a little vlog. And then I also did a bit of filming for another video that's coming out, which is about how to get into wild camping and wild camping for beginners, and just kind of some of the hints and tips that I think people might find useful if it's something they want to get into. And also as a bit of an educational video, because when I was at this campsite, it's a stunning area of the Lake District, but it was an absolute shit tip because of some fucking dickheads, I'm only going to call you. Dickheads or arseholes, you pick which one describes you best. But it was full of shit and litter and fire pits. and bottles, and it was just an absolute disgrace. And I got on my high horse and I had a bit of a rant on my YouTube video, and I'm going to have a bit of a rant now as well, because there's absolutely no need for it. You carry your bags into camp full of liquid and food, and it's heavy. And then you drink the liquid and eat the food, which means your bag is lighter. So fucking carry it back out with you, you dickheads. Don't leave it all over the countryside. There are deer tracks, there's foxes, there's badgers, there's other game that's their habitat. And people are leaving crisp packets and empty bottles of amaretto all over the countryside in the Lake District, and there's just absolutely no need for it. And that is why we're going to start seeing signs going up all over the lakes that say strictly no camping in this area because of people who are fly camping. And you're ruining it for everyone. It's giving this a stigma, it's giving us a bad name, and it's not needed. So if you're not going to respect the countryside, fuck off. Go do something else. Sorry, rant over, but it's proper annoying and it winds me up. And it's just disrespectful. So yeah, so where was I? Yes, so the video I'm bringing out has a little bit about leave no trace in it, which should be the number one rule. If you turn up going camping somewhere and you leave it, just leave the camping spot where you've been in the same state or even better than when you turned up, because that's just what good human beings should do. And there's just other things about what to take with you, kind of getting there late, arriving late, leaving early, and some of the kit to take with you as well. So yeah, so I know I've only been doing it for a couple of years while camping, and I was listening to another podcast, and there was talking about the plethora of videos that are on YouTube about beginners getting into wild camping, and there was a bit of a snobby remark about people making these videos who have only been camping for a year or 2 years, and I just kind of took no, I didn't take offence, did I? It's 2022, I could take offence with everything. I took issue with it because I sometimes think that beginners are the best people to teach other beginners how to do things, because if you've been wild camping or you've been doing this thing and hiking and been in part of the outdoors for decades and decades, I think that you've probably forgot what it was like to be a beginner. And you make some assumptions about the things that people know or people should know, and you make judgments towards people who probably are not as educated in the outdoor space as you are. So fuck it, I'm doing it. I'm doing a beginner's video from me, which I'm not a beginner, am I? I'm intermediate. I mean, I've got a podcast now, I can't be a beginner. But so that's coming out as well. Probably in the next week, or if I get it edited today, it might be coming out today. Same time as the podcast. Who knows? Just keep your eye on it at Yorkshire Lad Outdoors. And while we're on the subject of YouTube, 487 subscribers I'm on at the minute. 13 away from a milestone, 500. Granted, I'm not the next Peter McKinnon, nor Paul Messner, nor anyone else who's got more than 487 subscribers. However, getting to 500 is a good milestone for me, and I'd love to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Just for a little bit of recognition for the videos I've been putting out, because they do take a long time to do. And also, it's just nice to see that people are following along and we're building that community. And dare I say it, for anyone who says the videos are for themselves, if they were just for me, I wouldn't make the videos, would I? I'd keep them on my phone and I'd watch them. So I put them on YouTube, probably for a little bit of an ego kick as well. With people watching and enjoying the camps. And if it inspires people, then absolutely phenomenal. So if I'm still at 487 subscribers when this podcast goes out, please share the shit out of it and the videos and the YouTube channel and the Instagram account, and let's try and grow the community, because it's fun. And what else have I been doing? So yeah, on Monday, so that's the other thing I've gone into a bit of a rabbit hole on lightweight camping. Let's have a drink of tea before I tell you this. Trapped a nerve in my shoulder, so I've got my little wheat bag here, which I'll put on. And I've had a bit of shoulder trouble for a while, and I've got some knee problems as well. Now, we all know that because I weigh in excess of 108 kilograms, the best way to shave weight off my camping load would be to shave some weight off my tits or my belly. However, I've gone down a wormhole on YouTube about cutting my toothbrush in half to try and save a gram. So I've bought the Lanshan 2 Pro. I've just ordered a new backpack. I'm shaking my head as I talk to you about this. Because I want to look at doing some longer through hikes, like the coast to coast walk is something I'm keen on doing. I've just been watching Hazo's videos on the Cape Wrath Trail, which are phenomenal. Go check them out. While we're talking of other videos, hey, up is digressing here. Coast to coast videos. Check out Hazo's videos, Haze Outdoors, for anyone who doesn't know who he is. Wild Camping 101, Craig from Wild Camping 101, his videos were brilliant. I watched them yesterday, kind of beginning to end, and just really good, inspiring videos of someone doing something that's a big challenge and getting across the country. Ash Outdoors did it as well. There's loads on YouTube, but go check them out. And then it's also good, while we're on that Wild Camping 101, Craig put a video out this week as well, which has been the first time in a long time that he managed to get out on the fells. So him and Dave, the solo summiteer, put some videos out from their camp on Green Gable. They were out on Saturday night, so go check them out, show them some love. Really good cinematic content. None of the drivel and shite you get from my videos, but actual proper videography. The irony being that I'm a videographer and a photographer, and I'm available for weddings, bar mitzvahs, and funerals. I don't know if there's cash in it, we'll do it. Yeah, so back to my lightweight camping. I've just ordered a new bag. I've got the Lanshan, but I do want to lighten the load of my bag because, unfortunately, my knees are shot to shit. They are, well, basically, it's arthritis I've got in my left knee. So anything I can do to reduce the load and stuff going through that knee would be better. So I can try and reduce my pack weight. And it might also encourage me to pack a little bit less. So I've gone for a bit of a smaller backpack. But yeah, go on YouTube and shit. It is. There's people hiking 2,000 miles with 3 kilograms on the back. My bag itself weighs 2.5 kilograms. So it's absolutely mental. But it's also a bit of a. I've watched it and it seems a bit of a fad as well, this lightweight camping. I mean, there's people, I feel, taking unnecessary risks by trying to get their camping too low. I mean, they're going out and fucking sleeping under a Tesco bag on the top of mountains because it weighs less than a Sainsbury's bag. I digress. They're not camping under carrier bags, but you get what I'm talking about. But yeah, it feels like it's a bit of a YouTube hit to go, let's get the lightest. Who can do the lightest bag load out? Or I don't know, some of it is just a bit consumerism and a bit of they're doing it because it makes a good thumbnail, whereas actually the reason I want to try and look into some lighter weight gear is because I want to take the strain off my body. I'm not going to be hiking the PCT or the Appalachian Trail anytime soon, but I might be trying to walk 190 odd miles across the country from St. Bees to Robin Hood's Bay. So it's probably easier to do that with 8 kilograms on my back than it is to do it with 15 kilograms on my back. And as we've already discussed, try and knock a few kilograms off my teats. So that's the lightweight camping gear. And it's expensive. So yeah, so I've taken a week off because I'm a bit overwhelmed. Nothing serious going on in my life that would overwhelm me. I'm just not very good when my head fills up. It doesn't fill up logically like anyone else's would. And I tend to be reactive. And work's going very well, but work's very busy. Photography's going well, but the new business is, again, fantastic, good problem to have, but that's ramping up now. I started this podcast because I wanted to do that. Same with the videos. Obviously, there's got the kids going on and other things going on in life that just kind of stack up, and my head just fills up. And then when it fills up, it shits itself. So I've taken a week off work to just kind of defrag, factory reset, Control-Alt-Delete, and just kind of get things in priority order, which I've managed to do over the last 3 days. And I feel raring to go when I get back to work next week. Been great to get back out in the hills. It was nice to get a bit of a solo one under my belt on Monday, like I've said, and away this weekend camping with the kids. So we're going to a campsite in North Yorkshire with the big green tent, as my daughter calls it. So I'm looking forward to that. They're absolutely buzzing. Try and get them into camping. I will get them out into a mountain camp this year, hopefully. And then, they're going back to their mum's house on Monday. So I might try and get out for a hike or something Monday afternoon and then ready for the week ahead. And the week after, I'm camping again. I back out, think either in the woods or maybe the hills if I can convince my mate Alistair to get out into the hills. And we'll go do a bit of an overnighter there and have a couple of beers, spit the shit and catch up because we've not spoke for a while. So very looking forward to that. Now, on the subject of overthinking and overwhelmed, reading a good book at the minute called The Chimp Paradox. Really good. By a guy called Steve Peters, Professor Steve Peters, guy from the Northeast. I'm pretty sure you've probably all heard of the Chimp Paradox, but if you haven't, it's basically a way of understanding your mind and the different elements of your brain and kind of what spurs us to do different things. And we all have an area of our brain which is guided by emotion and feeling and irrationality, and that is the chimp brain. And then we've got another brain, which is part of the brain, which is the human brain, which is how we rationalize things and it's full of logic and based on fact. And then we've got the computer, which is kind of stores memories from both elements of that brain. And overthinking is very much a part of the chimp part of my brain. Part of your brain as well, everyone's brain. But it's last week when I talked about, didn't I, on Monday when I was going to Ennerdale, I looked at camping spots on Sunday night and I kind of had already decided I was going to camp down low. And then I thought, but what if I get there and I want to camp up high on a mountain? And then I was like, but I've only got this tent and the tent's not going to work it's not going to be ideal on a high camp. So I'll go camp down low. But then what if I get there too late and I need to go outdoors first? And by the time I'd and ahed and pissed about, like I said, it was like I think it was about 5:45 by the time I got there, which put me under strain. And even as I got into the Lake District, I pulled over as I got towards Newlands Valley and looked at the maps again, considering was I going to go on a high camp or a low camp. And all that umming and ahhing and pissing about nearly actually made me not even want to go out camping, because I just thought, I've ruined my experience, I've overthought it, I've made it into a big deal, and now I'm going to be stressed trying to find a camp spot just as the sun's going down. But when you actually get to where you get into, you get outside, you just walk and you get to where you're going to camp and you pitch up, it all is worth it. I talked about it in the last week. It just becomes a bit of a stillness of the mind, because all you do is when you get to where you're camping is you kind of go into a mode that allows you to be present, and you go into a mode that just makes you have to be present because you need to get set up, you need to get everything sorted, and you need to get kind of your shelter and get safe and inside and snug. And once you're in there, all the worry and everything just goes away, because, for me especially, and I just really enjoy it. But then I allow myself moments, which I wish I didn't, of them beating myself up for being anxious about it beforehand, which is just ridiculous. So let's just work this through. I'm anxious before I set off camping because I'm worried about which is going to be the most beautiful place to go camping. I get to the beautiful place known as the Lake District. I pull over in my car and I'm anxious whether I still want to camp low or I want to camp high. I get to Ennerdale Water. I'm then anxious that I'm not going to get to my camp spot in time before it gets dark. Then I get to camp, set up, absolutely love it, beautiful space, sit down, and then get annoyed at myself for being anxious about the situation that I now find myself in. What a load of bollocks, and what a ridiculous way to spend energy and time. But that's what anxiety does. It has no rhyme or reason. It's worrying about hypotheticals And then to get angry about worrying about hypotheticals is just, is just an enormous waste of time and energy. So the Chimp Paradox, the book I'm reading at the minute, is absolutely worth it because my chimp overruns the rest of my brain at time and often runs my life. So I'm looking forward to reading that and getting stuck into that a bit more. And it was actually a video that I watched on Monday when I got back when I was editing on Tuesday when I got back when I was editing my video. There's a video from MCM Outdoors from Chris. Again, go check him out, give him some love. And he talked about that in his tent. Weirdly enough, he said that he nearly didn't go camping because of all the things that you think are going to just of all the obstacles you've got in front of you. So you've got to pack your bag, you've got to make sure you don't forget anything, you've got to go buy food, you've got to go get gas if you have not got gas, you've got to drive, you've got to deal with the traffic. And there's a lot of ways you can talk yourself out of going. It's a bit like you can talk yourself out of going, you can talk your way out of going to the gym, can't you? Or you can talk your way out of going, I don't know, doing anything else you want to do. And justify by sitting there and watching more YouTube videos of people doing what you wish you were doing. So it was well worth watching that video, and I know he's gone through a bit of strife over the past kind of 6 months to 12 months. Not sure what that is, but he seems to be dealing with it in his own way. And again, it looks like camping and the great outdoors has been a big thing for him. So much love to MCM Outdoors and to Chris. What else is going on? Yeah, right. What else have I got to talk to you about? How long we've been going? We've done half an hour yet. Just me talking bollocks in it for half an hour. 23 minutes, right? Not long to go. Stick with me, people. What else have I gone to? What I've done? Leave no trace. Bellend's leaving rubbish behind. We've covered that. I can go through that again if you want. No, okay. Lightweight camping rabbit hole. Yeah, and then how much gear is too much? That's another one. A thing that I wrote down that I wanted to talk about. I am obsessed with buying camping stuff. I think I've got a problem. But then I use everything I buy, so it's not that much of a problem. But this could be a podcast on its own, really, about does consumerism take over in anything we do? So even like the outdoor space when it should be about kind of minimalism and just doing primal things and sleeping under the stars and just enjoying nature. Consumerism creeps its way into that, and we end up after the latest tent, after the latest backpack, the lightest backpack, the best sleeping bag. What's the best quilt to have? Do I need a quilt that goes down to minus 14 degrees Celsius? I live in fucking Huddersfield. No, I don't. But then someone gets in my head and I'm like, well, what if we do have a cold snap? Well, don't go camping then, you dickhead. But all these different things about us buying more and more stuff. I've just bought a portable air pump for my mattress. Like a battery operated pump that blows up my airbed. What a lazy bastard that I have to charge something, use electricity to blow my airbed up. I mean, it does double up as a lantern, and it's ace. I'm glad I bought it, but still, the amount of stuff I buy, and then I'm after saying I want lightweight kit. Get a grip, Rye. Get a grip. Lightweight kit. Get a lightweight backpack so I can fill it with stuff like that, with another lantern, with a even lighter head torch to put on my massively heavy bonce. So it's just madness. But then it shouldn't. Then I think with that, then there's a responsibility when doing these sort of like podcasts and the videos. As I say, there's not many subscribers to my channel, and gear review videos, is that when we're encouraging people to get into this outdoor space and do these and go wild camping, that we encourage them to do it kind of in a responsible way that's responsible for them and their kind of finances, because you don't want people to go out and improving their mental health by camping and then making their mental health worse by putting them in financial difficulty because they think they've got to buy a Hillyberg tent or they think they've got to buy a £200 sleeping mat, which is just not right. These things cost a lot of money. I mean, you get what you pay for, but it's not about that. You don't want to be going out camping in conditions where you require all this extreme kit. You can camp in conditions that you can get by on a cheap tent, a decent enough sleeping bag for the season you're camping in, and just something to keep your ass off the floor in the tent and keep you warm. Like, that's literally all you need to get out while camping. But don't get sucked into this kind of philosophy that you need the latest thing and you need the lightest backpack and everything. Ironic, I know, as I've just been talking about that, but it's not about that. It's not about keeping up with the Kardashians. Or do they go camping, the Kardashians? I don't know. That'd do my fucking head in going camping with them. I hope they don't. Keeping up with, I can't think of anyone. Well, I'll tell you actually, a big YouTuber who we all know and all love, who's brilliant at doing gear reviews, but also setting the tone that you don't need all the expensive stuff, is Paul Messner. So Paul is obviously, he's done phenomenal gear reviews. He tells us all kind of his thoughts on all different reams of camping gear. But he's done some brilliant videos on going on a budget wild camp to using the most expensive gear. And he always baselines it with use the gear that's right for the kind of the environment you're camping in, and he's brilliant at that. And I know Paul gets sent a lot of stuff to review, but I do think he does that very well and very responsibly. So in that sense, always kind of watch gear reviews with a pinch of salt. It's people's opinion, but it's doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have that gear. And a lot of people buying this expensive gear have either got the privilege that they can do that and they'll be able to purchase it, or they are experienced and they're building their kit up as they go along. You don't need the most expensive kit to get started in wild camping. But as you build your kit up and you build your skills up and you build your tolerance to different conditions up, then sometimes you just need to upgrade your kit, which is what we do, innit? So there's me justifying why I've just bought a Lanshan 2 and a lightweight backpack. I think that'll do it. Well, how long are we going for? About half an hour now. That's enough. That's enough of listening to me ramble on like an absolute idiot. But I think we've covered some good topics on this one. And as I say, we are going to have guests coming on. It's not just going to be me talking absolute shite into a microphone for half an hour at a time. But we'll get some guests on and talk to them about their journeys. But yeah, thanks for listening again this week. Go check out some of the people I've mentioned as well. Go give Wild Camping 101 a view. Look at his coast to coast stuff. Go check out Hazo. We all love him. Go look at Ash Outdoors, Dave the Solo Summiteer, Chris at MCM Outdoors. He's done some brilliant videos. And obviously the OG, Mr. Messner, who's absolutely killing it. And go give him a follow. Go look at some of his videos. And just show them some love. They're all ordinary blokes. There's some actually, and lasses. Come on, right? It's 2022. Claire Wildbear Camping. She's just killing it on YouTube. UK Carry Outdoors. Some brilliant videos from her as well. So go check out their channels. Give them some love. Follow them on Instagram, and let them inspire you to get out in the great outdoors. So that being that, see ya.